What is up, guys? Welcome back to Two in the Zone. You have the one, the only, the GOAT, Matt at Dead Press Picks. Welcome back home to Philly, man. How are you doing?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm feeling a little under the weather, but I wanted to get on a show for everybody because it's a huge slate in the NBA tonight, man.
Yep, yeah, we have a ton of games. Excited to get back into it. Obviously, the NBA took off yesterday due to the college basketball national championship, which I hope everybody enjoyed. But yeah, I mean, we're excited to dive right into it tonight. But let's kick it off with the first game of the night. Not the most appealing, the Magic and the Cavs. AC, I think the Magic are in full tank mode at the moment.
Yeah.
So they have no reason to win this game. The Cavs, on the other hand, they need it. Do you think 8.5 though, or are you going to be comfortable laying that?
That's when you get a little scary in the NBA, right? Because there's definitely teams still playing for stuff, and I think this looks really, really easy. But to me, the big tip here is why hasn't the line moved, right? We know Cleveland is fighting for that 8th spot, trying to get up to 7th spot even. And so this is a must win for them on the road. Like you said, Orlando's tanking. But all the bets on Cleveland, and it stayed at 8.5. Maybe it's a first half cover, and then they kind of just struggle in the second half. I think they still win, obviously, but I don't know, man. It's a little fishy. Again, there's no Jared Allen still. Evan Mobley, who should be the rookie of the year, is also out tonight. So they're going to be missing a lot of rim protection.
Yeah, it's a stay away game for me. I mean, if you're one of those people who loves parlays, Cavs are your parlay piece. They're going to win the game. I don't know if they're going to cover the 8.5. However, I just think it's far too many points. All right, Sixers and Blazers, or Sixers and Pacers, excuse me. Indiana plus 11.5. Again, they have nothing to play for. If you look at this Indiana roster, I see they have guys that I think a lot of people, even good NBA fans, might not really know who are currently getting minutes. I didn't know Justin Anderson was still in the league. He actually played.
We traded him to y'all, remember, back in the day?
Back in the day, yeah. I remember when he was here. He played 17 minutes last game, 0 for 3 from 3, 0 for 4 overall. But, I mean, let's be honest. At this point, they really have no true NBA starters in this lineup outside of, Halliburton. You could argue healed, but he couldn't even start for the Kings. I mean, this is not a very good Pacers roster. I'll go first on this one. I like the Pacers team total under. It has dropped throughout the day. I grabbed it at 112 this morning over on Parks, but the number has continued to plummet down. Philly allows 106 points per game, 106.8 to be exact. Pacers score about 111, but again, it's skewed because they did a lot of that when Brogdon was in the lineup. They did a lot of that when, Sabonis, Turner. This is a team coming into the year that had high expectations, but they have just crashed, obviously, and kind of blown things up. TJ Warren, he's also been out all year. But that's my favorite read. What do you like in this?
It's very, very similar to you, but I like the Philly team total over.
Okay.
I've been screwed by the Pacers multiple times this season, and just watching their games, they play zero defense. Even with their starters, they just don't believe in defense at all. They give up a bucket and start running the other way. I think that's the mantra with Rick Carlisle and that team, because I think they are in assessment mode. I know they're tanking, but I think they're trying to figure out who's going to play with them next year. But I like Sixers to blow them out and score at least 120, 125 easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it'll get ugly here tonight. Big game for Philly, obviously. Eastern Conference, the standings, I mean, they're so tight throughout. Huge game tonight in the 6. Also, Canada just became legal, right? Sports gambling yesterday, so congratulations to our Canadian followers. Now you get a chance to bet on your team tonight, who is laying 4 at home. I like Toronto tonight. I just wrote a piece over on Odds Checker on it at that -4 number. I think that, again, this is a key game. This might be the most meaningful game tonight of any head-to-head because all of a sudden they're trying to avoid a play-in spot. They're 3.5 ahead, so they win this game tonight. I don't know if mathematically they clinch, to avoid the play-in, but I know it's that key for them tonight. Atlanta, meanwhile, they cannot get in to the play-in game, or they can't get out of the play-in spot. So their fate's decided, right? They can move up. Obviously, they want to avoid that 9 or 10, but they can't get in. Toronto, though, nonetheless, huge game for them tonight. I like the -4 at home. I was talking about this with my article. I don't think they're going to be able to stop them, Atlanta, right? And if you look at Atlanta's current roster and the starters with John Collins out, they just don't have as many guys that can defend. Like they have so many matchup issues. I think the only two defenders on that team that are decent are Hunter and Capella. So I see Toronto, and we know Toronto, they like to share the love. They have five guys who can really hurt you at all times. They don't have really one overwhelming star. They're pretty even balanced attack. So I'm going to go Toronto. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to defer to you there. One thing I want to talk about is both teams are really playing well right now. Toronto's won 5 of the last 6. Hawks have won the last 5 games. So both teams are actually peaking just in time for the playoffs. And honestly, shout out to Trae Young. He kind of struggled the first part of the season, and now the second half of the season, he's in the discussion for second team, third team, all NBA point guard. He's been playing out of his mind. He's put that team on his back. He's only 160 pounds probably, and he's carrying that team. So I defer to you on tonight's game, but I think Atlanta, and that's a big if, right? If John Collins is back for the playoffs, I think that's going to be a really scary out for teams.
Yeah, Collins obviously a key guy there, AC. Hopefully he can be back soon. This is a game a lot of people have been asking about in the comments, so we're going to hit it now for them. The Bulls and the Bucks. So this is a key game again tonight. I believe the Bulls win, they clinch, right? The playoff spot, which I know you and I are on. And all of a sudden, we had to sweat a little bit about this one. We thought it was going to be easy, obviously, at an earlier stage in the season. But the Bulls have really struggled against top 5 teams. We know their record. I think they have 3 wins and like 15 losses, something crazy. Don't quote me on it, but it's around that. Who gets it done tonight? They're laying 6 on the road, the Bucks are.
So I don't have any numbers to back this up, Dad, but I'm going to go out on the limb. I think Chicago gets it done, man. I think the Bucks is the play, right? Coming off a loss at home against the Mavericks, Giannis should be back tonight as well. They're on the road. They're a steaming road favorite. All the signs point to the Bucks. But I have this, this gut feel about the Bulls. I think they win and clinch tonight. I think they win. So if I think they win, I definitely think they cover that number. Again, Zach LaVine is probably questionable. So look for DeMar DeRozan to step up. But people forget when the Bulls are healthy, they are a really good defensive team. It's just they've been hurt, right? Patrick Williams, Caruso, Lonzo Ball, all these guys who are great perimeter defenders. They're slowly getting back in the fold, and I think we're going to see something out of Chicago tonight.
Alrighty, let's move it along here, AC. We are going to get into a matchup between the Rockets and the Nets. 17-point favorites for the Nets. We're currently the 10th seed, by the way, in the East. Kind of crazy that they could be in a position where 1 loss and they're out in the play-in. You never know, right? When you play a team like the Hawks, we saw what they did last year. Hornets, if they get hot, a lot can happen with the Nets. Do they cover 17 tonight?
The Nets, I believe, are 4-24 against the spread as home favorites this season. Obviously, a lot of that because Kyrie Irving has been out, but he is back, and it's not like they're playing better with Kyrie. They still play 0-0 defense. 17 points is a lot of points. For a Nets team, like I said, doesn't play any defense. Like you have to actually defend the other team to blow them out. So I think the Nets are going to be able to score, but I also think the Rockets are going to score. Funny moment, right? Last night a couple nights with Jalen Green, people asked him what he learned so far in his rookie year, and he said he's a bucket, and I love that. I love that type of mentality. I think he's going to go out and try to, 30 points, 40 points tonight on the Nets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's been a dog, and I've seen his prop. That's a popular play today around Twitter, Jalen Green. I've seen a lot of people on his over, so hoping that hits for everyone who takes that. All right, Hornets and Heat 5.5 at home. This is a game I actually like the Hornets with the points. I think, again, we're talking about playing for position. I feel like this line's a little too short. It might be pointing at the Hornets. I know the Heat, seems like every game they have guys last minute, right? You're ruled in or out. Butler's another one of those guys. You got to keep an eye on his status. But I like the Hornets with the points tonight. What do you think?
I do too, man. I do too. I think Charlotte obviously has been dealing with a lot of injuries. But there's just something wrong with the Heat, man. Like you and I are really high on them. I think they're built for the playoffs. They're at home again tonight, coming off 4 really nice wins: Toronto, Chicago, Boston, Sacramento. But it seems a little weird tonight. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they just blow out the Hornets. But I think with the Hornets, starters all back tonight and a bunch of guys questionable for the Heat, I kind of like the value with Charlotte.
Alrighty, moving it along to the Wizards and the Wolves. 12-point favorite tonight are the Wolves. This is a stay away for me in this spot. Do you have any thoughts on this game?
Most likely stay away as well. Maybe the over. Both of these teams don't really play defense and they play really, really fast. But that's going to be dependent on the Wizards scoring enough points. So if you don't like that, maybe a T-Wolves over, something like that. But one guy that's been playing well since he returned is Porzingis. If he plays well tonight, I could definitely see his player props, points and rebounds, or just points, maybe threes, over threes, something like that. So look for Porzingis tonight to eat.
Alrighty, I love that. Just before we get into the final 5 games of the night, AC, let's give a shout out to our sponsor at 7 Stacks Sports. Give him a follow right there on the screen. He's been doing a bunch of promos, 24/7 customer service, same-day payout cryptocurrency, so make sure you guys take advantage. Baseball's coming back. He has -1 lines. I had people asking me all day. I did a spring training play today, AC, on my Phillies at -1.
There you go.
Where to get that line? Well, 7 Stacks will have them throughout the MLB season, which is less than, 2 days away now? 3 days away? Yeah. We're getting there to the MLB season, so can't wait for that. All right, let's move it here to the Blazers and the Thunder. This is a brutal game tonight. 4.5-point favorite. The Thunder keep going up. These two teams just played, and I took the first quarter under, and I'm not even kidding. They hit like 10 threes in the quarter. It was insane. I might have to go back to that tonight just because I don't think that they can do that again. It still was kind of close because neither team plays super quick. And Ben McLemore couldn't miss. I mean, just guys like you would not expect to shoot the ball that well. That's going to be my play in this. It's going to be, maybe it's a little bit of, I'm just doing it in spite, but I'm going to do it again.
I love it.
First quarter under. Here.
Man, if you look at the injury report for this game, everybody is out. I couldn't even tell you the 8 players that would suit up for both teams tonight. This one's tough, man. The fact that the Thunder are favored makes me like them. But at the same time, Portland's, I think they've lost 5 or 6 in a row. So they are definitely in tank mode. I honestly haven't looked at the standings, so I don't know who's still going for that number 1 spot or maybe number 2 spot. But even then, I feel like it's somewhat of a weak draft. So I feel like, if I'm the GM of these teams, I would still try to go and win. But this one's tough, man. Maybe the under, you're right. Maybe the under, but it's hard for me. Lay off.
I think it's a first quarter under spot there, AC. We're gonna attack that. It's at 57. Like that's a lot of points here for.
Watch it like to spite you. Hit the over in the first, but then under in every other quarter.
Right, and then it's a skiz under the rest of the game. All right, the Spurs and Nuggets. I'm watching this closely tonight because I have a prop on the Nuggets here at their season team total over. So they win this game. I get it. Think they're going to get it either way because they play the Lakers along the way here. They have 3 games left, but this is the one I think they really need to win tonight for this because then it could be a piece the last 2 games. Because if not, they have to play the Grizzlies. You never know, and then the Lakers could get tight. So I'm just watching this as a fan, AC, and I'm not even going to get involved in the spread tonight. But DeJounte Murray tweeted out yesterday he's been losing a bunch of weight, really not doing well. He's been super sick at the moment, and so that's obviously a key. But this line is just keeps going up. What do you think?
Yeah, both teams are actually quietly playing really well. The Nuggets have won 4 of their last 5. The Spurs have won 6 of their last 7. So these teams, even though I can't tell you what the standings are. I think the Nuggets are 6th right now, or maybe 5th. I forget. But these guys are jockeying for playoff position. The right to play Dallas or the right to play Utah. This one's tough for me, man. I kind of like Lonnie Walker. Without DeJounte Murray, I think a lot of the bigs are going to get in foul trouble with, trying to guard Jokic. I like Lonnie Walker to just let it fly and get a lot of shots up. So I like his player prop tonight.
All righty. I love it. Let's get to the final games of the night. This one is going to be at Utah and Memphis. I love a bounce back spot here tonight for Utah. -5.5 at home. They've really struggled to close games, they say. Donovan Mitchell has kind of been a guy people are getting on because he was critical of the Jazz. Now he's kind of been part of why they're losing these late games. But what's your thoughts on this tonight? 5.5 at home. I think it's a Jazz line I think it's a Jazz spot where they could win this by double digits.
It's definitely a Jazz spot. One thing that you have to think about is Ja Morant. He's missed 21 games, and they're 19-2 in those 21 games. They just don't lose. The Jazz are 0-5 against the spread in their last 5, whereas the Grizzlies are kind of peaking without Ja Morant. But I think I agree with you. This is, even though Memphis is an elite team, this is a get me right spot for Utah. They need to win this game. I think they're going to make a statement tonight. I don't know if this is the national TV game, Dad. Maybe you can check that. But I think Donovan Mitchell is going to have a huge game. I think Jazz cover the 5.5 easily.
It is not. The Lakers are on national TV again.
No LeBron tonight.
That's just disappointing. But it is not a national televised game, although it very much could be. But there is nothing nationally televised there. Okay, let's move it along to the Pels and the Kings. Another game, AC, that, obviously for the Kings at this point, they're not playing for anything. Pels, on the other hand, though, really have turned around their season. You got to give them credit. I know they're 10 games under 500, but they're going to be in a playing game, which when they started the season, not many people thought would be the case. Also, no Zion Williamson all season long. But, the addition of McCollum has really sparked this team in the right direction. Ingram's been great this year. Valanciunas has been great. So, I like the Pels, but I like them on the first half tonight, -4. What do you think?
I love the Pels tonight. This is a rematch about a month ago. They played in New Orleans. New Orleans won by 30 points. So this is, now they're on the road and they're bigger favorites. So I think that makes sense with, the last game there. So I do like New Orleans. They are just a solid team, man. Not only scoring, but they defend really well. And if Jonas goes tonight, and I have a feeling he might not go because it's the Kings. Yeah. But if he does go tonight, I think the Pelicans just blow him out.
All right, I love it. And to the final game, the Lakers here will be battling with the Suns. LeBron just ruled out line 13.5. Who gets it done?
Man, I don't know, man. The Lakers are probably the most disappointing team in the history of the league, to be honest. And there's been so many news, right, the last few days about what they could have gotten and things like that, but I've been fading the Suns in a lot of these spots in the past without Devin Booker, without Chris Paul, or without, Cam Johnson or Mikal Bridges, but they still cover. So I'm not going to play with this game. I'm going to lay off of it. If I had to choose, obviously I'm not going to do the big favorite. So if I had to choose, it would be LA, but I'm laying off.
Yeah, I think at this point, you just posed that question, are they the biggest disappointment ever? I think you got to consider it, right? Coming into the year, I would tweet, I don't think they're like an NBA champion. I always thought they were a little overrated. Did not expect this. Just a brutal.
You called it from the very beginning, yeah.
Yeah, they said such an old line, but I didn't think it would be this bad. This is a different level.
They're like the 5th worst team in the league, bro.
Yeah,
they're bad.
They're not going to make a play-in game, which is just when LeBron just sitting out. It's crazy what's going on right now. All right, let's move it along to our best bets of the night. We've been killing these all NBA season. AC, let's kick it off with you.
I'm going to go against the movement, guys. I'm going to go Chicago Bulls. They are one of the worst teams against elite teams in the league, but I have a feeling they get it done tonight. I think DeMar DeRozan is going to have a big one.
All right.
Bulls +6.
So we're going to go with the Bulls there, +6 for AC. And then I'm going to go – and let me see. There's options here tonight. We have a big slate. I'm going to go with that first quarter under. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Then we're going to go Thunder Blazers under 57. That's going to be my best bet today. Sponsored by our guy at 7 Stack Sports. So, guys, make sure to give 7 Stack some love on Twitter. He's been doing giveaways. AC and I will likely have a collab pick either tonight or tomorrow in the NBA. Huge slate tonight, obviously. We appreciate everyone for hanging out with us. I know it's the middle of the day, so a lot of people working and everything, but you can always watch these episodes back. They will be live on my Twitter, AC's Twitter, so make sure you guys check them out and then show some love, like we said, to 7 Stack Sports. AC, when will we be back? Thursday?
Thursday, man. Thursday. NBA season is coming to an end, so for those who are wondering, we'll still do, NBA playoffs and stuff, but we'll add some baseball and maybe some hockey as well.
Yeah, we'll get everything involved.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Dad, great job. Talk to you guys.
See you guys.